And I don't know if you know this, but currency can exist without government. It actually exists before government.
Hashtag
We
Bitcoin,
tie,
or
yeah. I mean, it's the same thing of Bitcoin. I mean, we used to use salt as currency, right? Because it's basically a commodity. But then, I don't remember exactly when, 17th century or whatever. Yeah, the government said, okay, we have to regulate currency. And then they built this idea of, well, the currency is this piece of first it was gold, it was, metal, and then eventually it was
silver.
paper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But this idea of the government is the only one that can issue currency, right?
Yeah.
Where before that was not the case, right? And we grew up in that idea that currency and government is a one thing.
Right. And instead, theoretically, if everybody outside of the government all agrees that this piece of paper is worth one chicken, cool. We can all pass the chicken around, no problem. You can trade back and forth within
Right.
one another. It doesn't require a government to set the value of $1 to one chicken, right? I do understand the role of government in this, where if you try to set up that system and then suddenly somebody comes in with a whole bunch of new dollars and they just created it, and now like they have $5 to spend on a chicken. So everybody, of course, is going to want them to buy their chicken. You flood the market, you devalue the value, whole thing up, country collapses, everybody's sad. Like,
right.
I get the point of regulation.
Yeah, I mean, there's value in that, right? But then eventually the government used to be, the dollar was connected to gold. And then at one point they were like, we're going to disconnect it. So yeah. So the currency is tied to people's faith, how much faith people have on the currency, whatever it is, right?
Exactly.
So it's a very
hopefully
interesting.
a lot.
Yes. And that's why we can see the fluctuation of the relative value of one currency to the other one is because of that, with additional steps, faith people have on and how the perception of the value there is, right?
100%.
In Argentina, in 2001, the $1 was 1 peso, right? Fast forward to today, and it's 10,000 pesos for $1.
And is that because the inflation crisis happened in between those two? Like, I think it went up and came back, no?
Yeah, in 2023, I mean, this is going up, right? So, but in the last weeks of 2023, they had a projected inflation of 70,000%.
That's just
I mean,
insane.
if you project it for the year, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Jesus.
Yeah. And the argument was that they were printing money on other countries, right? I don't remember the countries, but because the money is being printed outside of Argentina, then that doesn't affect inflation. That was the argument that, some people were using. But of course, right? So they got into this concept of assistance. They were giving benefits to half the population, and then the other half was paying taxes to support the first half.
Yeah, the hyperinflation and everything that goes on within hyperinflation is it's a very hard problem to solve, because how do you tell someone where it's like, hey, today the dollars that you're holding in your hand will buy you a cheeseburger, but tomorrow it will not buy you a cheeseburger. Do you want a cheeseburger? You're like, yeah, obviously. Throw it in. But if everybody's doing that, that's what makes it so that tomorrow it's not worth it. The cheeseburger is worth more. So it's like, how do you stop that cycle? Is
prices
for
will
smarter
change
people than me.
From morning to evening. So if you go and buy the cheeseburger in the morning, it's one price. In the evening, is another price, because the inflation was so crazy. So now they have 30% inflation. So they were able to take it down, and it was interesting. Yeah. The way that you stop inflation is by reducing government spend. So if you collect more than you spend, then you stop inflation.
You can basically put the brakes on it. Makes sense, because people aren't going to stop, so you have to stop the spend somewhere. As the government, that's where you can control the spend. So makes sense. No governments, no cheeseburgers for the government.